Good morning everyone, today we're gonna make the 3D model of Android in Blender. So we're gonna start fresh. You will see a cube, you can just delete it. Press delete on your keyboard, simple. Shift A and then select cylinder, and then we're gonna add some nice bevel. And to do that, you just enter edit mode by clicking tab, make sure it's in vertices mode, which is the default mode. Hold the alt key and then click on the ring. This will highlight the entire loop, and then click Ctrl B to add a bevel. Move your cursor to change the size and then scroll up to increase the number of divisions. For me, 4 is enough. Next, we're going to create the head. So again, Shift A and then select UV sphere. You have to move this away, so click G and Z to move it up so we can select it easier. So click the number 7 on your numpad for the top view, and this time click tab and then click number 3 to go to the faces edit mode. See, this will highlight the entire sphere, so you have to click away from that, click B on your keyboard and then highlight the entire top of the sphere, and then you want to click X and click faces. This will delete the entire top half of the sphere. Now what you need to do is to exit out of the edit mode, and you're gonna click on the half sphere. You're gonna click R, Y, 180. This will perfectly flip it upside down. Now go to the edit mode by pressing tab, go to vertices mode, and then alt click on the loop that covers the entire half sphere, and you're gonna click F. Now this will fill in the hole because we just deleted the other half of the sphere. Now just get them closer together, about 1 block apart. Next, we will get into one of the most complex part of this whole process, to make the arm and the leg. Start with a sphere again, Shift A and then select UV sphere. You're gonna move it up so we can see it much easier. Now we have to separate this into 2 parts. So to start, first press 7 on your numpad. This will show the top view of your object, and click tab and then press 3. This will go to the faces mode, and then click elsewhere, press B and then select the entire top of the sphere, and then press P on your keyboard, then click selection. Okay, now we separated the sphere into 2 parts. What we have to do is to exit from the edit mode, click on the top half and then press G, Z, and then move the top half about 2 spheres apart from the bottom half. With our spheres done, all we need is a cylinder. Now again, click Shift A and then select cylinder. We have to move the cylinder now in between the half spheres. G, Z, move it in between here. Now don't change the size yet. So first we enter the edit mode, the faces mode, and then we select the top and bottom faces of this cylinder and then delete them by pressing X and then select faces. Now let's combine all of these 3 objects. Get out from the edit mode, Shift click all 3 objects, and then press Ctrl J on your keyboard. After combining them, press tab 2 to enter edge edit mode, and then you gotta select the loops that we want to connect, which is obviously this part of the sphere and the top of the cylinder, and then press Ctrl E, bridge edge loop. Do the same with the bottom part, and now we're done. We just need to scale it. Now we're going to scale this down. Press S on your keyboard and then move your cursor. Check on the bottom right side of the properties. You will see scale X, Y, Z. Make sure they say 0.23. And then move it into position. However, after you finish this, you will find that the center point, which is the orange dot, is not at the center of the word. Now, to fix this, there's a couple of things you need to do. Press Shift S on your keyboard and select cursor towards origin. The reason we have to do this is because we moved the object outside of the edit mode, and so the orange dot will follow the object when we move them. Now, click on the object, press F3 on your keyboard, and then select Set Origin to 3D Cursor. Now on the bottom right side, click on Properties, which is the wrench icon, and then click plus, and then we're going to generate mirror and make sure the X-axis is highlighted. And then we want to duplicate this object along with the mirror, so we click on the object and we press Shift D, and then we just move it down by pressing Z. We don't want to repeat the same mistake we made before, and so we have to enter edit mode, click A to highlight the entire object, and then we move it after we enter the edit mode. Next, we're going to make the antenna for this Android model. Press Shift A and then select cylinder. Again, move this away and then scale it down. However, this requires some very precise scales, so I suggest you just check on the bottom right side on the orange square and then set the X and Y value to 0.03 and then set the Z value to 0.42 on the scale section. After you do this, click on tab to enter edit mode and then click on the properties, which is the branch icon. Click plus, generate, mirror, and make sure the x-axis again is highlighted. Now we're going to rotate this antenna by pressing R, Y, and then 30 to rotate it about 30 degrees, and then we can adjust this antenna accordingly by pressing GX and GZ. And now we're on to the last step of this whole process, which is the eyes of the Android. Press Shift A and then select UV sphere, and then again move it away. And now let's scale it down. On the bottom right side, click on the orange rectangle and then make sure to set all the scale X, Y, and Z into 0.09. The reason we have to do this is because, again, pressing S on your keyboard is not very accurate. Press 3 on your numpad to have a side view of your object. Don't forget to enter into edit mode and then press GY to move the eye in front of the Android. This is so that we can adjust the X and Z easier. Again, press 1 on your numpad and then adjust the G, X, and G, Z and get it into position. Once we're done, for the last time, select the bottom right section in the wrench icon, click plus, generate, and then mirror. Again, it's the x-axis. After we're done with the mirroring, again, press 3 on your numpad to have a side view, and then G, Y to put the eyes into position right in the Android's head. You can readjust this how many times you want to get the proportion right. But please remember, whenever you want to adjust the eye, do it in the edit mode, not the object mode. And now our entire object is finished. Unfortunately, the Blender app on this computer is just not having it, so I will have to move to another computer just for the materials. And so, click on the body, click on the bottom right side on the material, which is the red circle, and then click New. On the top right side, enter the material preview mode by clicking the button right beside the white circle. Now change the base color on the hex code, enter 77C159. Now click anywhere and then shift click every single object except the eye and the body, and then lastly click on the body and then press Ctrl L, link materials. And now press A to select all objects, right click anywhere and then select Shade Smooth. Now back to our materials. On the right bottom, change metallic to 0.5 and then change roughness to 0.2. And now we're all set. Now let me just shift click the head, the antenna and the eye, and then G, Z to move it away since it's a little too close to the body. Okay, now for the last step, to polish this model, all we need to do is to enter edit mode and then select this loop here, and then we just create a bevel by Ctrl B and just add those bevel to kind of smoothen the model a little bit. Do the same with the top head, and for me 3 separation is enough. And so that is it. Our Android model is finally done. Here we go. Enjoy.
一个梦想家。